Okay, welcome in. I'm trying to change things up a little bit. I know my very much well. Oh my goodness, if I can stumble over my words. Okay, screw it. I'm very much aware that my channel is called Sports Guy Talk, and I only really talk about hockey and football. Those are the two sports that I really follow the most. So I'm going to change things up a little bit. And now that baseball is now underway, I'll see if I can try covering the baseball and see if that helps bring on more and new uh, potential subscribers. Alrighty, so I didn't realize this, but actually on the 20th of this month, the season got started early between two teams from California as the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Diego Padres kicked things off for this upcoming season. The final score would be 5-2. Daniel Hudson would get his first win of the season. If I pronounce his name correctly, Yohoni Brito would suffer the loss, and Evan Phillips would get the save for the Dodgers. The very next day they played, it was like a home and home. So the Dodgers and the Padres played yet again in a wild game. 15-11 would be the final score. Michael King picking up his first win of the season. If I pronounce his name correctly, Yoshinobu Yamamoto would suffer the loss. Robert Suarez would get the save. So both these teams, as of the 21st, were sitting at 1-1. Alrighty, so yesterday was the official opening day of Major League Baseball, despite the fact that the two teams that I just discussed had played back-to-back games. So the first one has the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Still a very long name in my opinion. I wish they could go back to Anaheim Angels, but it is what it is. They went into Baltimore to kick things off. 11-3 would be the final score in favor of the Orioles. Corbin Burns would get the first win of the season, and Patrick Sandoval would suffer the loss. So 1-0 for the O's and 0-1 for the Angels. The Toronto Blue Jays went into Tampa Bay, two division rivals, kicking things off. The Blue Jays would come away with the 8-2 victory. Jose Barrios would get the win. Zach Eflin would suffer the loss. 1-0 for Toronto, 0-1 for Tampa Bay. San Francisco would go into San Diego for the San Francisco Giants. This would be the first game of the season. For the Padres, this would be their third game of the season. 6-4 would be the final score. The Padres are now 2-1. Obviously, the Giants 0-1. Yuki Matsui would get the win for the Padres. Luke Jackson would suffer the loss for the Giants, and Robert Suarez would get his second save of the season. The Pittsburgh Pirates went into Miami to take on the Marlins. 6-5 would be the final score. Luis Ortiz is 1-0 on the season. Declan Cronin would suffer the loss, and Jose Hernandez would pick up his first save as a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Los Angeles Dodgers took to the field. 7-1 would be the final score for the Los Angeles Dodgers. They have now improved to 2-1. The St. Louis Cardinals have dropped their first game of the season, 0-1. Tyler Glasnow would get his first win for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Milky McCollis would suffer the loss for the Cardinals, and Ryan Yarbrough would get his first save of the season. Alrighty, another division matchup in the AL Central has the Kansas City Royals taking on the team from the Twin City, the Minnesota Twins. The final on this one would be 4-1 for the Twins. Pablo Lopez would get his first win of the season. Cole Ragans would suffer his first loss, and Griffin Jacks would get his first save of the year. The New York Yankees kick things off in Houston to take on the Astros. The Yankees would prevail 5-4 would be the final score. Obviously, they start off 1-0. The Astros are 0-1. Jonathan Loaisiga, if I pronounce that name correctly, would get his first win. Ryan Presley would lose, and Clay Holmes would get his first save of the season. The Washington Nationals went into Cincinnati to take on the Reds. 8-2 would be the final score. Cincinnati is obviously 1-0. The Washington Nationals are 0-1. Frankie Montez would get his first win of the season, and Josiah Gray would suffer the loss for the Washington Nationals. Alrighty, the Detroit Tigers went into Chicago to take on the White Sox. A very low scoring affair, just 1-0 would be the final score. Tariq Skubal would get his first win of the season. Garrett Crotchet would suffer the loss, and Jason Foley would pick up his first save for the Tigers. Chicago Cubs went into Texas to take on the Rangers. The Rangers, being the defending World Series champions, came away with a 4-3 victory. They're now 1-0. The Cubs are 0-1. David Robertson would get his first win of the season, and Drew Smyly would suffer the loss. The Cleveland Guardians went into Vegas. I apologize, because Oakland did relocate to Las Vegas. The Cleveland Guardians would prevail 8-0, a shutout. They're now 1-0. The A's are 0-1. Shane Bieber's 1-0 as a starter so far, and Alex Wood suffered the loss for the A's. Alrighty. 2 games left from Thursday's schedule of the Major League Baseball, as the Boston Red Sox went into Seattle to take on the Mariners. 6-4 would be the final score on this one. Obviously, Boston's 1-0, Seattle's 0-1. Braylon Bello would get his first win of the season. Luis Castillo would suffer the loss, and Kenley Jansen would get his first save of the season. Alrighty, the last matchup, and this was a blowout to say the least, as the Colorado Rockies went into Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks. 16-1 would be the final score. Zach Gallen would get his first win of the season, while Kyle Freeland would lose. So yeah, that takes care of all the recap from the 20th, 21st, and now the official opening day of the Major League season, which was the 28th of this month. Alrighty, as always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, please feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, take care.